Hey everybody, welcome back to Cult of the Lamb. Today I'm going to be showing you how to win in Knucklebones basically every single time. Once you progress through the game, you unlock Shroomy, who is the most difficult opponent in Knucklebones, but lets you bet up to 50 gold each round, which can be a pretty good moneymaker if you can win consistently. But anyways, if you liked the video, like the video. Alright, so for this video we're just going to be doing Shroomy, because Shroomy has the highest bets and Shroomy is the highest difficulty. Just because most of the other are pretty easy to beat. But the main way to play, if you don't know, is you have to have a 3x3 board, and your opponent has a 3x3 board, and you roll die each turn. You then place die on a column. If you have multiple of the same die on a column, you multiply their value. If you play a die on the same column as your opponent's, it cancels out theirs. And so basically the main strategy is if you get a row of all sixes, you get a ton of points, but if they play a 6 on that column, they can take it out. So the main strategy here is to not fully commit to a column until their column is full as well. Because if I have 3 6s and they have an empty column, they can just counter my 6 pretty easily. So I want to have basically 3 columns built up, and then I try to counter as much as I can until he gets a full column and I can do whatever I want. And so here I roll a 5, I counter out his. So now I have to keep my column open to counter the 6s, which I roll a 6 is great. And at this point, I don't want to commit to anything. I can commit to these 2s. I think I'd do this, because if he rolls a low number, he'll just place it on the right side, and it's totally fine. And I can work towards the middle column as well. And I leave my left column open for 5s to hopefully counter his. Or I can stack up 6s. And then I leave the left open for a 5 or a 6. Because if I draw a 6, then my left column is better than his. And if I draw a 5, then I counter out his. A 6 would probably be better, because then he can't counter my 6s because his board is full. And until then, I just try and counter out as much as possible so that he can't finish the round. I can take the counter here. Or I could wait for a 6 and then have a ton of points over him. I think I'd take the full counter. I'm fine with him rolling 6s to counter me, because then I have 5s ready. But if not, my board's pretty close to full, and I can potentially just end before he rolls anything good. I'll place a 2 on this side. And if he just doesn't roll a 6, we're good. I continue to counter him, though, because as long as my board fills up, it doesn't really matter. And I just need him to not roll a 2 or a 4, and I think I'm good. Okay, he counters my 5 on the left. I'll roll a 1 on the right side. He doesn't roll a 6, and we win. Alright, so the 6 play was pretty risky. If he would have rolled a 6, we would have just lost. But we'll do it another time, just to show. Again, of course, shoot. And I will take the max bet. Alright. We go to roll first. And we get a 4, place it on the left. Get a 5, place it in the middle. We can work on either of these columns. Alright, he immediately gets a counter. And we'll place our low numbers on the right. We basically just want him to build up a full column, and then we can work on anything that we want. I'll just continue countering to keep his board pretty low, so he can't finish off. I think I stack up the 3s. I think anything below 4, like 1, 2, and 3, you can stack pretty early if you want. Okay, so he has a full board on the right. So now I can try and stack 4s or 6s. The reason I don't want 5 is because then I can empty out his board. But yeah, now he can't counter our 4s if we roll him on the right side. I can commit to the 3s on the left, and hopefully he fills up his left board. Alright, he counters our 3s. I think we're still pretty good, because we can counter whatever he has, and we can commit to 4s on the right side, because he doesn't have any combos, except for the 5s. We'll go 3s in the middle, and then we will place 5s if we counter. We can place 4s if we counter. We have to do this so that he doesn't win the round instead of committing to our 4s on the right. And hopefully we roll a 5. I think we have to counter just because he could end the round pretty easily or pretty quickly. We commit to the 4s here. And then hopefully we get a counter on the 5s. Yes. And then we look for another 4 for the right because he still has a... He can't do anything. Yeah. So now we have a ton of points on the right with nothing he can do. And we basically just win. So here, I think we win no matter what. I think we don't risk countering his 5. Yeah. All right, yeah. So the main strategy is to get a 4, 5, or 6, just stacked up 3 of them to where they can't counter. Oh, you have nothing to say now, Shroomy? All right, let's go. Let's go again. Let's go one more time. A little max bet here. And this isn't really the best way to make money, even if you win every single time. Just because 50, you can get 50 from going through a dungeon. But it is fun, and it does scratch a gambling itch. All right. We don't want to double up on 6s if we roll. We definitely just counter a 5, though. And then we don't double up on 5s just because he get a 2 for 1. Hopefully he builds up the left column very quickly. Yeah, we'll stagger our 5s and 6s. Okay, so now we can place a 5 or a 6 on the left. Just because he has only a 7-point board on the left, which is fantastic. Yeah, so we stack up on the left, and there's nothing he can counter the middle, which is fine. I think our 29 points is pretty solid, though. Unless he gets a lot of combos himself. I'll put the 5 on the right side. Hopefully we get... I mean, I think we're fine. Unless he gets another 3, I think that's when we're worried. And we do have the 4s in the middle, but I think we win. Yeah. All right. I'll see how many we can beat you in a row, Shroomy. Yeah, you're not saying much now because you don't you don't want to keep losing your money. All right. We get the first roll again. Put a 2 in the middle. All right. Hopefully, yeah, we stack up anything that's 1, 2, or 3 early. We keep the left side clear for 6s to counter. Yeah. He doesn't decide to counter our 2s. I guess he didn't want to fill up his board. I think I'll put this on the 4 side. Because if he stacks with the middle, 3 2s is pretty decent. I can risk... I think I put a 6 in the middle, because if he gets a 2, he'll place it in the middle and counter. All right, well, he's completely full in the middle. So that wasn't super good for us. I guess it wasn't good for him either. I still don't think we stack up 6s, because we definitely just have him on straight up points. Yeah, so he could have 2 for 1 just there. It does suck that we don't have any combos unless he counters us. But he doesn't have any combos as well. So as long as he can't counter us on this roll, we're good. All right, yeah, we win. Yeah, so you don't have to have a ton of combos, because even if we rolled like a 1 there, we still would have been good. Thank you for your money, Shroomy. Would you like to go again? Get a little max bet going. And also rolling first is always better, just because you can potentially clear your board quicker. Because normally ending when you get to clear the board is better than them clearing their board first. Alright, yeah, you counter the 3, that's fine. Hopefully you can stack up your middle and then I can work on a big number. I will counter this, actually no, I'll put the 6 in the middle. And then I can counter the left side. I would really like you to build up your middle, so that way I could have placed the 6 in the middle. Okay, yeah, so now any 6s we roll, we can place in the middle, because he can't counter. Assuming we roll a 6. I countered the 5. I don't want to build up the 5s. I think I could get countered pretty easily. The only thing that sucks now is he is in the same situation I am in, and can just stack up his 6s on the left if he rolls 6s. So it's basically just who rolls more 6s at this point. But hopefully he doesn't get any counters. He needs a 5, 2, or 4. He doesn't get them, so we just win. And even if he got a 5, 2, or 4, we would have been probably fine. It was really just who rolled more 6s there. So I probably shouldn't have stacked up my left knowing he had a 6 there. But it still worked out. Alright, so Shroomy rolls first, so a little disadvantage, but we could just immediately counter if we get lucky. Alright, a 1, we'll place it on the left. Hopefully he just stacks up the middle very, very early. I think I allow him to, if he wants to. I'll put a 4 in the middle. That could be my build-up. Yeah, so now we don't counter at all. And we stack up 4s, because 4s will be stronger than his 3s. We just can't let him build up his board. So we might have to counter. He has 3 slots left. We can just counter on the right side. Hopefully we get a 6. All right, we stack up our 2s, and then we hope to get a 6 to counter. We stack up our 4s. We have to get a counter here, though, or else he finishes his board. Yeah, we have to counter his 5, sadly. Because we can go here, but then he finishes off. Yeah, so we have to counter. And then we really hope we get a 6. We have lost against Shroomy. So, whenever they high roll like that and get 4 6s, sometimes you can't win every time, but you can win pretty consistently. And that is how to win at Knucklebones basically every single time. There obviously is some randomness, and there are certain situations where when Shroomy gets 4 6s in about 6 rolls that you can't win, as well as when you never get any 6s. But it's still pretty consistent, and it's a good way to make money if you don't want to go through dungeons and it gets kind of boring. It's definitely not the fastest, but it is very, very fun to do, and it's very good whenever you just slowly build up your money. I think I started at like 100 at the start of this video, so it was pretty quick, 250 gold even after losing once. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.